So I teach a course in nursing, is Nursing 672, which is strategies for nurse educators. So it's a master's level course for those nurses who want to teach. And so we always say in nursing, we are great nurses. We know what we're doing. If you're in the hospital, you want us. But as teachers, we're not so good because we were not trained as teachers. And so this course is a whole program that helps to teach nurses how to teach. And I am in the second of the series of 4 courses. So I've been teaching this course for 5 years, and when I met with Larissa, she just gave me incredible ideas that are so incredibly wonderful. Teaching online. I've been teaching online for 5 years, but what she did for me has been incredibly helpful. So we started first. I had all of my assignments and content and everything on the left column, because that's the way I was shown 5 years ago. And she showed me how to make that better and to do the 3-click thing. So I never thought about 3 clicks. I thought just, but she really did help me with that. So we started here with the Start Here button. And under that, I put, first, this is an announcement that I put for this class. This is a piecemeal class now. I put things from the class I'm currently teaching, and then I will teach this again next spring. So my plan is to carry all this next spring. So this announcement was for this spring, was where I started with the students, welcoming them to classes, giving them some announcements about things of interest for them. The students have to do a practicum type of teaching at the hospitals or in a clinic. And so I give them some suggestions about here's what you should be thinking about even your first week. You're going to have to do this over the next 15 weeks. And so think about, we have to get a contract together with a clinic and what to do. So that's the first announcement that I start with. And then the one piece that I think has been incredibly helpful has been this course objectives and blueprints. I did not share this, and it's extremely busy. To open it up here for us, perhaps. It'll be difficult for you to see, I think, but I wanted them to be aware as we go through the class that every assignment is connected to multiple objectives and how important that is. That we're not doing busy work, teaching you to teach, and every assignment is valuable in what you're doing here. So I have every week an assignment, 16, and they're listed here. Crossed horizontally are the objectives for the module. So we, and then I just post that here at the beginning without a lot of explanation, because as I go through under week 1, I do a whole voice thread on why that's okay. Syllabus is here, calendar is here, and then our nursing, the master's nursing is all under this first tab here that is Start Here. And then I have broken this down into modules. Again, suggestion from Larissa that I think has worked beautifully for this course. And this is the Module 1 information. And then I have under Module 1, Week 1 and Week 2. So if under every module I've talked about is this voice thread, that blueprint. And as I go through, I ask the student to go back and get the print, have it printed so it makes sense to them as I'm talking to them, and telling them what's important in the module. And every module, I do the same thing. And like I said, I never had considered it before, but it made so much sense to me to pull those assignments every module and say, this is what's really important here. This is why we're doing this, and how you can carry this forward in this program, because you're going to carry this forward into the next 2 classes as you get your master's degree. So that's the introduction to Module 1 first. Then we start with Week 1. So again, Larissa helped me cut and paste and put our calendar first, start with my calendar. And then every week I have a weekly assignment sheet that'll be here. and provide this to the students. So it starts with the learning activities, what is expected for the week. And as we go through, we'll have questions to the study guide, not so much the first week because we didn't jump right in the text yet. But then I also put on my assignments on there. So this is like their guide for the week. This is what needs to be done. This is what you need to, activities you need to do, things you need to read, a study guide as you're reading, and then assignments. So the first week was to post a personal introduction on VoiceThread. So I gave them some instruction. And then the second thing they're to do is to choose a theory to explain. So they have this in written form. Go back to here. And then following that is that weekly sheet. Here is the Panopto recording that I've told them they need to watch under the activity. This is the second activity I need to watch about scholarly writing. And then here are the two assignments. To choose your theory. So this is a wiki that, again, Larissa helped me with. You can tell I was a little inept in all these things, but I've learned a lot. And then this is our VoiceThread introduction. So we did our thread box here, and I put mine on there, expecting the students to do the same. This has been incredibly fun to do the introductions with students. I've had usually around 10 to 12 students, but we get to know each other like that. And we get to see each other, so I encourage them to post pictures of their families or whatever they want to share with us, and help them through that. So that's week one, and pretty much every week follows the same from there. This was week 1 and 2 in module 1. So teaching, learning is the same. Week 2, posted from calendar. This is the lecture. 5 years ago when I started teaching online, I had a student evaluation one, and I did not do a lot of VoiceThreads, but I had a student say to me, "You didn't teach us anything." And I think that was the student who came from the background of lecturing. You know, they were used to sitting in the classroom and lecturing, and the instructor gave them everything. And so I had to really think that through about, well, what do I give them online? And how much lecture do you give them? And do you need to look at that chapter and go step by step through it like I did in undergrad or nursing? So it's evolved. And I do some VoiceThreads for them, and I provide it in several different ways. This is that same teaching, the learning activities, the weekly assignments, the learning activities, and then I give them study questions, and I don't expect them to be turned in. In fact, I tell them I don't really want them. If they're a master's, it's something for them to think about as they're reading, as they're going through chapters. This is what I want you to think about. And on this particular week, we've had the YouTube videos that I want them to watch. Just fun videos on teaching, and then it comes back again to the assignment. The assignment here was a discussion board about a case study that I posted, and they should respond to class, one other classmate, and then those YouTube videos I want them to watch and just think about teaching, what resonates with them as far as teaching. So going back to the Blackboard site, that's the VoiceThread that I just kind of overview the text and content for that week. And then these are those YouTube clips I mentioned as an assignment. So Larissa helped me embed all those. That's pretty sweet. Loved it. And then the last one is discussion, that case study discussion board. So I just click right in there and again with that. So that's the first module, week 1 and 2. I think it's pretty slick. This is from somebody, oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. From somebody who didn't understand this very well, obviously, still having trouble. Okay, it'll pop right out. Oh, good, okay. I have to put in the website. But then every course, every week, and module follows that same configuration. Just keep following it all the way through. And as I mentioned, we have, I don't have mine. Do I have mine on here? I have yours on here. Okay, I see. There. 672. That's me. Okay. So as we move through, this is the next module, theory, and it's the same format all the way through, which I really like. I think it makes so much sense, better than what I've ever done. And then there's my lecture, the overview of the theory from the text. In the same way, this is that weekly assignment sheet that guides them through the week, and the readings and the assessments that are due. And then this is the actual assignment. They have to choose a theory and then make a voice thread and post their voice thread on here summarizing the education theory. So that's really, the course continues in the same way, week by week, actually module by module. And I follow that same format. And I haven't done a whole lot more throughout the rest of the things that are really differently. There are several times that I expect the students to do voice thread. The first one is that introduction. Then at the end, when I mentioned that they have to do this student teaching, they actually have to videotape themselves or in some way record themselves and get it back to me. Most of them do YouTube, but I also have them do voice thread as for their project. So there are no exams. It's just all writing and projects and teaching. That's the whole thing. I've learned an immense amount. My goal in doing this was to understand online learning better, and it's been incredible. It's been really helpful to understand and to use the technology that I did. So I'm very grateful to be here. Okay. Any questions for Connie? Great, good job.
Good plan.